Hola mis amores! This is Kirby Marie here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another episode of Shin Hayarigami 2. First of all, it's very good to see y'all again. I hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all having a lovely day, afternoon, night, depending on your time zone. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for taking this moment of your time and watching today's video. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, be sure to drop the like button. It really helps a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel and want to join in on more adventures like this, then you're more than welcome to. Also, leave your comments and your thoughts on this video or anything in general. I would love to see your guys' opinions on everything that's going on in Shin Hayarigami as of right now, because this is a very interesting series. I really love it a lot and it's very fun to share this experience with you. So anyways, last episode where we left off though, nothing too big happened. We were currently investigating the first crime scene with the 4th grader who died. We learned that the kid was a troublemaker and some people were happy that he died, which is kind of messed up, to be honest. And then we had a little chat with our chief director where he made us a promise that if we solved this case, he would promote us to a new special department called Tokuso. Don't know what kind of department it's gonna be exactly, but that's apparently what he said. And he chose my character, myself, and Sena specifically for being part of Tokuso. And also we did our first liars are on Sena, which was pretty interesting, very funny. And now we're here at the second crime scene where we've learned that couples have been getting attacked, specifically women who get their ankles cut. And so, yeah, that's basically what's been happening. Thankfully, no deaths have happened, but there have been a lot of, in a sense, casualties. So, yeah, anyways, that is pretty much it for the intro. We're just gonna straight up jump into the game. I hope you'll enjoy.
Shocked, she jumped back from the bench, and the creepy woman crawled out from under it in all fours. A woman with long hair and a trench coat, holding a blood-stained knife in her hand. Naturally, the couples panicked and ran away from the scene.
It went silent again.
I don't understand. Didn't they notice there was a suspicious person under the bench?
That is kind of creepy, having some weirdo the couples are so cute.
I don't know. Perhaps they were too busy making out.
Probably, they've been están comiéndose uno al otro.
Sena spoke with a strange look on his face. That's expected from someone who's awkward when it comes to love. Amor! He doesn't sound convincing.
The Minecraft footsteps!
We walked towards the bench where the crime occurred. So this is the scene. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary bench you can find anywhere. The cursed bench, though it doesn't look cursed.
By the way, if you hear my cat nearby, she's gonna be meowing, so I apologize for that.
Anyways. What time were these victims attacked? Around this time. For some reason, the attacks happened at a particular time, at evening.
Looking up, I see the sky, which is creating a beautiful gradient. In contrast, the bench is obscured by the shadow of the surrounding trees, and if it wasn't for the street lights, its existence wouldn't be noticeable. To borrow Sena's words, it's the perfect spot for couples to make out. Oh yes! Looking at the bench, I realized it would be the perfect place for the criminals to hide and target couples.
In all seriousness, if they secretly go on a date with their partner at this park, they're going to be targeted. A date? In the park?
Ding! Suddenly an idea came to mind. It's risky, but it's worth a try. I asked her. Propose a date as part of the investigation. Confess my love to him. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but I'm confessing my love to you.
Nah, but we're doing the first one.
The culprit has specifically targeted couples. If we take advantage of this characteristic, we may be able to lure the culprit out. Sena, let's go on a date together.
Huh? What are you going on about? Oh good god. Sena's voice crackled in surprise. He did not expect this. Oh my god. No, don't. I was an outlaw after all. If you want to find love, find it with someone else. Your feelings will get hurt. Oh my god, he says it like that. Obviously he doesn't have a crush on me, but he doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. He says it also innocently without any embarrassment.
You idiot! I wasn't asking you out on an actual date.
Huh?
Don't you understand? We're going to play the role of couples and sit on the bench in question.
Oh, that's what you meant. As part of the investigation. Don't scare me like that.
Usually people can tell it right away.
But...
What's with that reaction?
Am I not good enough for you? Well, it's not like that. If we're going to pretend to be a couple, we'll have to show some affection for each other, right? What kind of thoughts are going inside of this pure-hearted boy's mind? It makes me feel like I'm talking to a delusional teenage boy.
It'll be fine. Just let me handle it and let's just sit down.
Sena, who's completely hesitant, is forced to sit on the bench. Ah! That's so cute! And I sat down next to him, at a lover's distance, of course. Too close! Not too close! Don't get so close!
Listen here, this is part of the investigation. If you don't look like a couple, this whole plan will become pointless.
Well, yeah, that's true, but...
Come on! Get closer like lovers do. Or what? Are you still afraid of a woman?
Sena's shoulders tremble violently as soon as I say that. He's so easy to read. Don't be stupid! I was the legendary leader of a motorcycle gang. I've made countless women cry. Even as he says that, Sena's shoulders were shaking with tension. Seeing him like this is cute. He is kind of adorable. Adorbs. 1 second. Alright, camera is working again. Okay, so we have two choices. Tease Sena or focus and continue with the investigation. Focus and continue with the investigation, girl. I wish to tease him, but I can't stop focusing on the plan. We need to focus and do our jobs for the investigation. Hey, how long should we stay like this?
Until the culprit shows up, of course. The number of victims is so far unclear. It seems that the couples rushed to have themselves be checked, but when the first incident occurred, no one believed them and there were no records left. In addition, people who hear about the incident spread exaggerated rumors such as a friend of a friend told me this story, tomodachi no tomodachi, which makes it difficult to determine the exact number of the incidents. Hey, do you really think the culprit will show up? Sena continues to speak while looking away. He looks extremely uncomfortable. It would suck if she didn't show up. You wouldn't want to stay here forever, would you?
The bench faces the street in the park, with a street light next to it, some shrubbery behind it, and a vending machine and a trash can at a short distance away. So far, there have been no suspicious figures in the area, let alone any sign of life. It feels too quiet. Yeah, I mean, there's no music! Hey, what do you think the lady in the Trenchcoat's purpose is with all this?
It seems Sena finds everything too quiet and continues the conversation with a question.
A motive. Consider her method of persistently targeting only women's ankles and calves. She seems to have a strong complex. Moreover, the fact that she specifically chose this park bench as the crime scene has some significance to her. If you consider the significance of targeting only women in this location, it might be the key to solving the case.
I see. That's one way of thinking about it. You're smart. He praised me, but what I said was an elementary reasoning and nothing special.
What's your take?
Me? It's very simple. Catch the culprit and get the truth out of her. Okay. Kaka! Nothing's happening. Sena looks down at his watch and sighs for the 100th time. An hour has passed since we sat down on this bench, and apart from the extremely quietness surrounding us, there is nothing unusual about it.
Maybe the culprit realized that we are detectives?
Maybe. All the victims were close couples, so maybe we're not the culprits on the culprit's radar. Let's just go home now. Sena's been giving off an aura of wanting to go home ever since. But that one word just now gave me an idea. I see. A close couple, huh? One second. Good grief. I decided to try to be closer to him. I decided to just keep investigating. Get closer, cuddle. Oh my gee.
Then let's try to be a close couple.
Huh? What are you talking about? Music! I gently touched Sena's hand and leaned closer to him, as if asking for his affection. Whippity! Whoa, whoa, whoa! At the same time, Sena gives a dramatic reaction, and with quick reflexes, he immediately moves away. By the way, that girl is so cute too.
Oh please, Sena, don't you find that a bit rude? Isn't this supposed to go the other way around? I'm a woman now.
Please, don't make me lose my confidence. Even though he hurt my feelings, I continue to try and force my way through.
Hey, I want to get to know you more, Sena.
What are you saying? Sena's face is bright red, and steam is coming out from his ears. He seems to have forgotten about the investigation. This is so cute.
No need to be embarrassed, Sena. This is our way of proclaiming our eternal love.
Whoa! Everything happens quickly out of nowhere. Rather than sharp pain, I felt a sharp heat on my ankle. I immediately stood up and looked down at my right leg, where my pants were ripped up diagonally. I should have put my bottom part of the pants. Sorry about that. Fortunately, the wound was shallow and there was only a bit of blood coming out, as I had not exposed my body. Hey! Are you okay?
I'm okay, but be careful! There's something under the bench!
No, not something. More like someone! Are you serious? We step away from the bench, distancing ourselves from it, and prepare ourselves. Woo! We step away from the... No, wait. Something was crawling out from under the bench, making a rattling noise. More like a bone-breaking noise. It looked like a horrifying darkness was giving birth to something sinister. Yeah, congratulations, Bench. You became a mom. Oh my god. Yo! Hi there! It was just as the witnesses said. A tall, hairy woman in a trench coat. I had an idea she was tall, but she's taller than I imagined. Her face was bowed and covered by her long hair, making it difficult to read her expression. She was mumbling something under her breath, and it sounded like an eerie chant. The woman has an otherworldly aura about her, so much so that I couldn't help but check to see if she had legs. Oh my. The horrible incident that happened at S Prefectural Police C Village branch comes to mind. Even the faces of the comrades who were trapped and killed. My lips tremble. I had sworn to myself that I would overcome whatever difficulties or fears await me. Past trauma binds my body, my mind, and fear. Honestly, I'm scared. I'm terrified. What should I do? What should I do? Yell, this is the police, run away from fear. Hell no, we're gonna be beating this. It would be easier to run away from this, but I'm a detective. And I vow to overcome any obstacles or fears to overcome my past mistakes. Summoning all the courage I had, I call out to the lady in the trench coat. By the way, this music. I forgot it was in Shin Hayarigami 1 too. Police! Don't move! We're arresting you on suspicion of assault! Oh my goodness, I thought she was gonna kiss me. The woman moves slightly and the next moment she's running through the bushes at the park at full speed. She ran away? Moreover, the way she runs ignores the limits of the human body. No matter how I look at it, it's not normal. It's completely unrealistic. She's the Flash! You bastard! Interesting! Do you really think you can match up to Sena Aizen, the fastest man in the world? As soon as he says that, Sena runs off towards the lady in the trench coat. Although I was late to the game, I could not remain still and ignore this. Even though my leg was injured, I followed them. As the self-proclaimed fastest man in the world, Sena's figure becomes tiny in an instant. But the woman was even further away and moving with incredible speed. The distance between Sena and the woman never comes close, and they quickly grow apart. Unable to keep up with the woman's speed, which seemed beyond the reach of an ordinary human, he ended up losing sight of her completely within just a few dozen seconds.
She's gone. You're kidding, right? What's with that speed? Is she an Olympian?
The fastest man in the world is whining?
Don't be stupid. A woman is not normal.
True, she didn't act normal. She certainly didn't seem like a living human. Of course, because she's Flash.
Good grief.
Although I was teasing him, I don't have any objections to Sena's assessments that woman was not a normal human being.
How disappointing. I better quit smoking.
What, you smoke? Excuse me? It's strange. How did we not notice the culprit hiding so close to us? From the time we arrived until we ran into the lady in the trench coat, not a single person came into the park. Still, I wonder if she's been hiding under the bench all this time.
What? She was just waiting for a couple to show up? I don't understand how weirdos like that think. But how could someone so tall like that manage to sneak into such a small space? We were so distracted that we didn't notice.
A nice wooden bench. The coating is peeling places, but the construction is surprisingly sturdy. I bent down and looked under the bench. The floor was less than 50 centimeters above the ground. It's hard to believe that she managed to sneak unnoticed for over an hour with how tall she is and able to fit in such a small space. I stand up and now check the underside of the back of the bench.
So, what shall we do? Shall we try again tomorrow? I don't think we'll be able to get her again, though.
I don't think that will be necessary. Look at this. Her long hair has been caught on the back of the bench, and it was all clumped together. Hi there. It's not a normal way for her to get out for sure. My instincts are telling me this is hers. Nah! Who the else was in there?
Oh! That woman's hair is so gross!
The cover investigation was not in vain. This is a clue to her identity. Let's ask the Criminal Investigation Laboratory to analyze it. I took a plastic storage bag from the jacket pocket and carefully placed the hair we found in it. We didn't talk to each other after we got back to the car. Only the sound of the car running quietly echoed inside the car. The image of the lady in the trench coat we had encountered earlier has burned into my mind. I'm sure Sena feels the same way. That's how intense her presence was. How can I be calm when my heart feels like it's seizing up? Before arriving at the laboratory, I needed to sort out and reconsider what happened in the park. Yeah, self-question. Okay, so self-question, I think they're gonna give a tutorial, but self-question is basically like a deduction of what you think is happening so far whatsoever. Though sometimes if you deduct things wrong, you get bad endings as well, so you have to be very careful. And halfway into the game is where one of the self-questions in particular will lead you to a path, which would be scientific path or occult path. I'll let you guys know which part is it, but for now, it's not here, obviously. But we still haven't obviously learned a lot. But yeah, we're gonna be doing self-question now. So the question we have on the top says, who is the lady in the trench coat? The incident that took place at the park. The criminal hides under the bench and targets women, attacking them by slashing their ankles. The lady in the trench coat is involved in 4 cases. Who is she? Yeah, we got that. Yeah, I already got kind of explained this part. Same shit again. Okay, so choices. A prankster enjoying the commotion, or someone who has a grudge against these victims. So, the choice is going to be someone who has a grudge against these victims. Is there a line of resentment? In the first case, a boy with a bad reputation was killed, so she must have some kind of grudge against him. Although it is difficult to tell because she is dressed in a trench coat, the perpetrator is a woman in her 30s. She might have had a child in the early grades of elementary school. For example, it's possible the first victim did something to her child and she's seeking revenge? But what about the other cases? The second incident, couples were getting attacked during their dates. Third incident, a high school girl's earlobe was bitten up. And fourth incident, a young office lady's leg was cut off while returning home from work. The injuries vary in severity, but fortunately, aside from the first victim, none of them are fatal. However, if she holds grudges against the women who were victimized, what kind of grudges does she have? If we were to fit this description in the above, it would mean that the person in question was either a relative of the boy or someone associated with the school, but there is currently no evidence of this. There are not enough common grounds to conclude that this is a grudge, and it is difficult to say for certain. In any case, at this point the identity of the culprit is merely a matter of speculation. In the first place, why was the culprit hiding under the bench? So there are 2 choices. Because it's a good place to hide, or to imitate the urban legend? Second one. Could this be to imitate the urban legend? The culprit even made the effort to dress up as the lady in the trench coat. It's possible that she was hiding under the bench just to make it part of the urban legend. It is likely that other incidents such as Hikiko and Kashima, which are also based on urban legends, are likely to be related to this. Still, why would the lady in the trench coat attack couples, particularly the women? The fact that she's only targeting women makes me feel like she has some kind of grudge. Could there be a motive hidden within that we have yet to see? Okay, next choices. Perverted taste in targeting women. Women are easier targets. Unfortunately. Could it be because women are easier targets? Now that I think about it, the first victim was an elementary school student, while the third and fourth were women. With the second case, the man who happened to be there was ignored. From this point on, it can be inferred that the assailant is repeatedly targeting people weaker than herself. Ugh, unspeakable. Creepy face of the lady in the trench coat pops into my mind. But there's something else strange. I look at Sena's profile as he drives in silence. When the lady in the trench coat was fleeing, Sena, who boasted about being the fastest man, was unable to catch up at all. What was the source of that superhuman speed? Okay, so this is where the sub-question will end, and this is where we deduct the logic for now. So we have one choice: the perpetrator is someone with extraordinary physical abilities, or second, there's possibility of something beyond common sense. For now, the choice we're going to be making is the perpetrator is someone with extraordinary physical abilities. A woman who can run faster than a man. The lady in the trench coat must have had incredible physical abilities. She's so fast that even Sena can't get close to her despite his confidence in running. There are examples of athletes or non-athletes who have some experience in martial arts and train regularly. There we go. In the end, no matter how much I think about it, I can't find a clear answer. Questions just keep popping on my head and begin to dominate my mind. Did this really happen? Is the lady in the trench coat a real person who exists in this world? Ridiculous!
What's with you suddenly?
Sorry. It's not about you. I'm just thinking about the culprit. I drop my gaze to my lap. Inside my pocket lies the plastic bag with the hair that appears to belong to the lady in the trench coat. This is the best proof, at the very least. The hair was cut in this way. Surely it wasn't some kind of vengeful ghost. As I say this, I feel like I ended up creating a mysterious sense of uneasiness. With almost no conversation on the way, we arrive at G Prefectural Police Headquarters, excuse me. Oh, here's that dumbass again. At a nearby desk at the 1st Investigative Division, Section Chief Tanaka is elegantly sipping coffee. This music. However, the moment he sees us, his face contorts visibly. This is him. Oh dear, he doesn't seem happy with our arrival. Chief Tanaka, we have returned.
Oh no, I mean what? You're back already? Well, yeah, we're back.
Do you really thought we were never coming back?
Oh yeah, we're just gonna suddenly decide to quit our jobs and live our lives and party all the time, you know?
No, of course not. I managed to swallow up those words that were on the tip of my tongue. Well, that's fine. If that's his attitude, then I have an idea. I'll give him a surprise here. Okay. There are 3 choices. Report the encounter with the lady in the trench coat. Show him the lady in the trench coat's hair. Confess that you're pregnant with your boss's child. I forgot. Oh my
my god. Anyways,
All choices are bad, so we're gonna go with the first one. Actually, Chief Tanaka, while we were investigating the second crime scene, we encountered a woman who seems to be the culprit. The atmosphere inside the first investigative division suddenly changes and commotion arises.
You encountered a criminal? What did you do?
Oh dear, it seems this guy cares more about his reputation than arresting the culprit. Typical gangsta. It's understandable that it would be unpleasant to be overtaken by a punk who has been relegated to the sidelines and a woman who was just only hired. But putting that aside, I would like for him to prioritize his duty as a police officer.
So who's the suspect? Have you apprehended the suspect?
No. Unfortunately, she escaped. However, we recovered an important item left behind the perpetrator.
Oh dear, you let her get away? Don't scare me like that! Well, it's not like inexperienced newbies like you can arrest a culprit that easily.
Section Chief Tanaka seems to have no interest in what I'm trying to say as he nods repeatedly with a look of satisfaction. Oh, he's pissing me off. I want to slap him. I would have punched him.
Hey Chief! What's with that attitude? Are you happy that the culprit got away?
A reckless punk facing off against a chief. It seems that these hierarchical relationships are not part of Sena's dictionary.
No, that's not it. The person was a woman, right? Letting her slip is a bit.
Are you laughing at us, guy? What a coward. Chief Tanaka is trying to hold back his laughter. His skills at getting on people's nerves seems to be top-notch.
Are you making fun of us, Chief? Do you want to get punched? Punch him! Punch him!
Sena, I understand how you feel, but you shouldn't punch him.
Actually, I'm just like, punch him! Punch him! You obviously didn't see it, so you don't know. But no matter who chased after her, it was impossible. Her running speed was unnatural. She was a freaking monster. Monster? That's right. All these strange events seem to fit the urban legend. The lady in the trench coat. Stop! Stop! That's enough! I don't want to discuss this any further!
Chief Tanaka covers his ears and shakes his head in a disapproval like a spoiled child. Oh my god.
Whether it's strange incidents or urban legends, this investigation division isn't responsible for them! Alright, we're done! No need to write a report. Go home and get some rest!
Just when things started to look suspicious, this happened. I don't want to open anything unnecessary, but Ichiro Tanaka, the unwavering man, chief of the 1st Investigative Division. In a way, it was a stroke of good fortune to receive a direct thumbs up from the Section Chief Tanaka, which means we don't have to write a report. This is not widely known, but a large part of a detective's job is writing reports. Sorry about that. On TVs and movies, things like these are omitted since nobody wants to see a detective being busy writing a report, but that's the most difficult part. Being exempt from having to prepare that report means more time can be devoted to the investigation. Let me get some water real quick.
Damn that chief. He pisses me off. He treats us like we're in the way.
Sena, who looks completely outrageous, slams his iron fist into the palm of his own hand. Pa! Pa! There's no doubt that the face of Chief Tanaka is reflected on the palm of his hand. Yeah, of course. Can't help it. This is no ordinary case.
What? You're giving up?
Kidding. Who would give up? We were chosen to prevent strange cases from going unsolved because of people like that, who can only judge things based on their own common sense, right?
Right? We're going to solve this case and become a special investigation team under the direct control of the chief.
That's right. I had completely forgotten about that, but there was a similar story. Since we become outcasts within the 1st Investigative Division, it's not a bad idea to have an investigation team directly under the chief director.
Oh, that reminds me. Do we really need to report the lady in the trench coat's hair?
Well, since they were deaf to the news, it's fine, right? Since we come this far, let's just go ahead and say it's our secret information.
Secret information? Haha, you're quite reckless herself. Who's reckless? Here we go.
Oh my god! Hi there. 2 very handsome guys. Except one is smaller, but they're both handsome. Oh my god! My commentary is on a whole other level, and I'm so sorry about that. I don't know when they showed up, but in front of us stands an extremely elite-looking man. And she's talking about the big guy. Judging from his appearance... No, wait. She's talking about the other guy, sorry. Judging from his appearance and voice, he looks like a man. But with his innocent appearance and delicate build, he could easily pass for a woman or a boy depending on the clothes he's wearing. Oh my god! I mean, this art is not doing him any favors, to be honest.
I had heard that there's a new troublemaker, but I had never expected it to be a female detective.
A female detective? The contempt in his words is clear.
The chief had his heads in his hands just now. Did you do something? Aizen, stop making the chief feel anxious.
Beside him stands a tall, surly man. The 2 of them look like a couple. Oh my god! Of course, if they were male and female.
Shut up! I didn't do anything!
Sena pouts and turns away, as if he'd been scolded by an older, capable brother. Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh, right. You just came here, so you have no idea. They're the duo with the highest arrest rate in G Prefectural Police.
Second?
The highest arrest rate?
There we go! There's our handsome boys! They're a bit of a jerks in the beginning, but they're actually lovable people. Just take the time. For now, we're gonna consider them
Alright. I'm a police inspector from the 1st Investigative Division, a Violent Crimes Unit, Criminals Affairs Department, G Prefectural Police Headquarters, Shin Hayarigami,
which, if you recall, in the last episode he was mentioned, but it was like a mention.
And this is the elite inspector that we at G Prefectural Police are proud of, Masaomi KOUKETSU.
While NIIMI, Assistant Inspector, spoke proudly, Inspector KOUKETSU took a business card out of his suit jacket and hands it to me.
Just KOUKETSU's fine. We've been out all day, so we didn't get the chance to introduce ourselves to you.
That's fine.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sergeant Natty Marie. I've recently been assigned to the 1st Investigative Division from the Sea Village Police Station in S Prefecture, excuse me.
Sea Village, S Prefecture. I wonder what kind of country bumpkin it must be. It makes a sense for a new member of G Prefectural Police to not know us. You're a country folk.
Country folk? I think G Prefecture itself is a fine rural area filled with proud people who judge outsiders. But Detective NIIMI looked at me as if he was assessing me from head to toe. He's a man brimming with an elitist mentality. No, actually, he's just looking at me from head to toe because he knows I'm hot as
By the way, this guy is 32 years old, but he looks like a baby. Oh, Sena! Excuse me? Gosh, you're still so ignorant, you punk. Who are you calling a punk? Are you looking for a fight? No, Sena. No matter how you look at it, you were the one who started in the first place.
His attitude towards the chief and his decision to pick a fight with someone much older than him, especially if someone in a higher rank, makes Sena look like a heretic in the police organization that is a hierarchical society based on seniority.
Seriously, I'm surprised someone like you managed to become a police officer. Quit wasting time, Shintaro. Apologies, Masami. I'll stop fooling around.
After being scolded by Inspector KOUKETSU, Detective NIIMI straightens up and tries to save face.
Anyways, just don't do anything to hinder our investigation. Got it? How arrogant.
I simply had no way of responding, but Detective NIIMI seems to have taken my silence as obedience. He nods in satisfaction. Oh, he's smiling. He's giving me a smile.
Alright then.
Now, would you mind giving us the details about the encounter with the person that happens to be the culprit? No, I don't want to.
Kidding. Huh? Why should we give information to the enemy? Make no mistake, Aizen. We're not the enemies. The culprit is.
Although he has a sullen appearance, he seems difficult to approach. Inspector KOUKETSU seems to be a man of good sense.
Okay, we'll tell you exactly what happened. Though, you might find it hard to believe.
And so, unfortunately, the culprit got away.
With ample body and hand gestures, Sena spoke passionately about the entire thrilling case with the culprit. She had easily escaped, but Sena's pride probably wouldn't allow that. It was dramatized as if she narrowly escaped.
In conclusion, I believe all 4 of these crimes were committed by the same perpetrator, the lady in the trench coat. These serial murder cases are based on urban legends such as Hikiko and the woman under the bench, also Kaoru-san.
Sena concludes his theory about the series of events with a smug look on his face. Detective NIIMI, who had been patiently listening to Sena's heroic report, lets out a heavy sigh. His temples were twitching.
I had remained silent up until this point because Masaomi told me so. But are you out of your mind? In what world there's a detective who would take urban legends seriously and investigate? No one. That's why I'm here. In fact, that's what helped us find the culprit, you know? That was just a fluke!
No, that's because it was women charm, Shintaro. Apparently, as a force that boasts the #1 arrest rate, he seems reluctant to admit that we encountered the culprit first.
Aizen, there's a crucial problem with that conclusion. What's the problem? The 3rd and 4th incidents occurred in different locations, and 2 incidents occurred roughly at the same time.
Uh-oh, Sena looks like had accidentally forgotten something important. His mouth hangs open.
2 incidents occurred at the same time.
I had no idea that such a fact existed. There's more than one perpetrator. That would be enough to deny the theory that it was the same perpetrator.
Aizen, you've been so caught up with the whole lady in the trench coat and urban legends that you've narrowed the perspective. As a detective, shouldn't you be more careful and thoroughly eliminate all possibilities?
I'm surprised. As an elite with the highest arrest rate, I thought that Inspector KOUKETSU would place emphasis on cutting-edge scientific investigation, but he seems to value old-fashioned, down-to-earth investigations. Another thing became clear. Inspector KOUKETSU and the other detectives in the 1st Investigative Division don't believe that the series of crimes were committed by the same criminal. One second, my lovelies. In addition, the 3rd and 4th incidents occurring at the same time, it is obvious that urban legends cannot possibly exist. Even Inspector KOUKETSU, who said, "We need to carefully eliminate every possibility one by one," would not have considered the possibility that urban legends are real.
You guys can do as you like. I'm just believing the testimony of the victims.
He wholeheartedly believes in the voices of the victims. Even as he's facing these two, Sena believes remains unwavering.
Didn't you hear what Masami said earlier? The 3rd and 4th incidents happened at the same time. They couldn't have been committed by the same criminal. If crimes could be committed by the same perpetrator at the same time in remote locations, surely that must have been the work of a sheep?
Detective NIIMI seems to be provoking Sena, giving him a smug look on his face. The two of them seem to have a really bad relationship. They both say unnecessary things to each other.
A sheep? What are you talking about? What a pain. This is why I hate talking with ignorant punks. They're so clueless. You bastard!
If this keeps up, these two will end up in a fight.
No! Fight! Queremos pelea! Queremos pelea!
Alright. So we have 3 choices. Respond with the urban legend of Mary Doll.
Sing Mary's Little Lamb!
Respond with Dolly the Sheep. He's talking about Dolly the Sheep for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah.
You're talking about Dolly the Sheep, the world's first mammalian somatic cell clone? What, you're saying the lady in the trench coat is a human clone or something?
Of course, he can't be serious with this. He's obviously trying to mess with Sena.
It looks like you study a bit. I guess a female detective is better than a delinquent.
I'm just going to ignore that remark, but I can't forgive him for the way he's treating Sena. Nobody messes with my boy, who's sincerely trying to respond to the voices of the victims. Don't mess with Sena. Don't mess with Sena, boy.
I don't know if a female detective is better than a punk. However, I'd rather have faith on a delinquent who values the eyewitnesses' testimonies than a detective who dismisses it.
Excuse me?
Chupates! Detective NIIMI's eyes grew in anger. He's probably never expected to be confronted by someone younger and lower in rank. And moreover, a woman.
That's a pretty bold thing to say.
I'm just expressing my honest opinion here.
Detective NIIMI's well-formed eyebrows, like those of a woman, twitch nervously. Did that make you nervous, papito?
Haha, well said.
Sena whispers happily as if he's gained an ally.
But, are you sure? Shintaro is an extremely accomplished careerman who graduated from the University of Tokyo's Faculty of Law and was an elite who worked in the 1st Investigative Division of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department in his 20s. Moreover, his father is the Superintendent General NIIMI, who is said to be the next Superintendent General of the Metropolitan Police. And his mother is the head of a surgery department at the University of Tokyo's Department of Medical Sciences. Crazy, right? They have a ridiculous blue blood status.
So what? You don't agree with him either.
Look, unless you have no interest in getting promoted, then that's one thing. But if you're not an open-minded person, then he's someone you want on your team, you know?
No thanks. I'd rather you, Sena.
I don't care about promotion either. But there's one thing I want to hear from you.
What is it?
Believing in urban legends and investigate cases is certainly a bad idea no matter how you look at it. But do you still believe what the victims and witnesses say?
I do.
Sena answers with a serious look in his eyes. There is absolutely no hesitation.
I don't know what drives him to this point, but his beliefs in believing the other's words of the victims and witnesses is genuine. The flame in his eyes is enough to reach towards my heart.
My kokoro.
Kasamori-san. For a moment, my mind flashed to my old partner. Alright, Sena. I understand your resolve.
I turn around with a determination, gaze fixed on the duo with the highest arrest rate. Oh, you're gonna cry, NIIMI? Look at that angry face of yours. You're gonna cry. Aw, poor boy, poor boy. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo.
Inspector KOUKETSU, Detective NIIMI, thank you for your advice. However, we will conduct our investigation based on our beliefs. We will believe the voices of the victims and witnesses, and we'll do our best to catch the culprit and solve the case.
We will solve this case together. At first I had planned to fight alone, but before I knew it, I was caught up with Sena's pace. But now that I've made such a bold move, there's no turning back. You cheeky woman!
Stop it, Shintaro. Both men and women can solve cases.
Inspector KOUKETSU speaks out. He looks calm and collected. That tone is enough for his partner to not speak more any more arguments.
Yes. Sorry, Masaomi.
As soon as Inspector KOUKETSU calls him out, Detective NIIMI becomes dejected like a scolded puppy. Oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, chúpate esa. Detective NIIMI, who appears to be nothing more than an elite with a strong sense of elitism, for some reason obediently follows Inspector KOUKETSU, who appears to be nothing more than an outlaw. What kind of relationship do these two have?
Marie, was it? If that's what you want, I won't say anything more. In this world, results are everything. Let the results tell us which approach was right.
Right.
You seem confident. You must have found something at the crime scene.
Shocking. He hit the nail on the head, like a punch into their gut. Oh, I got punched! Yep, we're holding the lady in the trench coat's hair. There's no point in hiding it from them. Besides, their mission is to catch the culprit as well. It is out of the question to hide the evidence we obtain and keep it to ourselves.
Yes, we did. We found evidence at the crime scene that appears to be the criminal's hair.
The culprit's hair. Where is it now?
Here.
As I take out the same plastic bag from my pocket, Detective NIIMI peers intently at the evidence before casually snatching it away. Y ahí le meto el puño. Don't take my hair sample. So this is the hair. Are we sure it really belongs to the culprit? No. You know where I took that hair out? I took that hair out of your ass. There's no certainty yet. However, there is a hunch that only those of us who actually face the lady in the trench coat can sense. In other words, it is what we call a detective's intuition.
If you're doubting about it, then please, give it back.
Yeah.
That's right. Give it back now. Are you trying to take credit for it? You call something like this an achievement? Take it back.
As he says that, Detective NIIMI has a disappointing look as he returns the plastic bag.
Ah, el lloroncito.
This will be used as evidence, and we'll take it to the crime scene laboratory to have it be examined. Depending on the results of the DNA testing, we'll find out who the perpetrator is.
Given the testimonies of the victims and witnesses match up to the urban legends, we cannot deny the possibility that strange happenings have been seen during this incident. But that doesn't mean we should abandon the scientific perspective. Science and occult. We do not deny either possibility, but instead determine the facts. That is our investigation policy. On our way to the forensics lab, I kept thinking about Inspector KOUKETSU's advice.
Aizen, Marie, There were no shortcuts to solving this case. The crime is always in the past, and detectives can only trace the criminal's footsteps by collecting each piece of evidence left behind. Therefore, a detective's job begins with observing the scene. Visit all crime scenes. The more you look at the crime scenes, the more you'll hone your ability to read the mind of the criminal. Why did this crime occur? What was the perpetrator thinking of and feeling? What does the scene, time, and circumstances of the crime mean to the perpetrator? What is their motive? If you can find that information, you'll be a professional, and that can only be achieved by visiting the scene a few times.
Visit the scene a few times. Now that's an old saying. The words come from a man who plays a part in G Prefectural Police's #1 arrest rate were surprisingly okay. But that was the most correct attitude for a detective to take, and there was a weight to it that could only come from someone with years of experience in the field. Just how many horrific scenes that has this man witnessed? Deep darkness dwells in his eyes. A person who fights monsters must be careful not to become a monster themselves in the process. When you look into the abyss also looks back at you. Perhaps Inspector KOUKETSU is one of those people who peer into that abyss.
Hey, wait. Are you sure? They're the #1 duo in terms of arrest rate. They're also in a much higher rank than us. What are you going to do against them? You just got here. Won't you get demoted?
Oh? Worried about me?
No, that's not what I meant.
It's fine. I'm not thinking about promotions either. More than that, wouldn't you want to make that elitish detective look like a real dog no matter what?
You've got guts. That's what makes you worthy of being my partner.
A worthy partner, huh? I don't think I can live up to those words. It seems that Sena has come to accept me, and I'm beginning to accept him too. I have no objections to us solving this case together. But I want to distance myself from being partners. I don't want to lose any more loved ones. There we go. It's my second day here, and morning finds me standing in front of the reception desk of the crime science laboratory. I let out a small sigh. Apparently, for the hair sample examination, which we believe it belongs to the lady in the trench coat, will be completed this afternoon.
We have some free time right now. Shall we go and check out the 3rd and 4th incidents?
If you want to use your time effectively, G Prefecture Hospital is nearby.
G Prefecture Hospital?
Yeah, the 3rd and 4th victims are hospitalized in G Prefecture Hospital.
Speaking of the 3rd and 4th victim...
Alright, hold on. Let me put this here real quick because I wasn't hearing. First choice, high school girl and office lady. Second choice, office lady, elementary school boy. Third, elementary school boy and the couples. It's the first one. Oh, good grief.
The high school girl and the office lady, right?
Yeah, a high school girl's earlobe got bitten off, and an office lady's leg got amputated with a machete. Let's visit and ask about the incident.
It's a proposal typical of Sena, who always listens to the voices of the victims. There's no reason to oppose it. It's a heavy-hearted experience to come face-to-face with the tragic victims, but we told ourselves that this was all for the purpose of arresting the culprit. We leave the prefectural police and head to the hospital. Okay. The G Prefectural Hospital, where the victims are being treated, was a relatively new hospital, having only been renovated a few years ago. As expected, there are many medical departments in the general hospital named after the prefecture. As soon as we stepped through the entrance and into the hospital, we found it packed with outpatients and visitors.
Let's start with the 3rd victim. she was recently moved to a private room from a private room to a shared room.
Alright. Is she doing better now?
According to the report, the victim's right earlobe was bitten off by the lady in the trench coat, and she also lost sight on the same side. Ooh.
Poor girl. She was injured so badly she became blind on one eye.
No. Apparently the injury wasn't serious. She lost her eyesight because her earlobe was bitten off.
Wait a second. But how can that make a person go blind?
How? Because they ripped out the audible nerve in her ear. You don't know? The urban legend of the white thread? It's the one where a white thread comes out of the ear's piercing hole.
Yeah, the thread that comes out and then you're
White thread? You say that, but there's no optic nerve in the ear.
Huh?
The optic nerve passes through the optic canal and connects from the eye socket to the occipital lobe. You can see even without ears.
That is true.
Seriously? Then why did the victim become blind?
I don't know.
My heart flutters. I can't help but imagine an unscientific conclusion. No, it's strictly forbidden to look at things from the perspective side of our forefathers. We must remain calm. We must try to look at the facts calmly.
This is the big room, where the third victim is staying at.
Miyu Tanahashi. After confirming the name written on the hospital room, the plate matches the victim's name. I slowly open the door. The hospital room with its pure white walls is divided by plain curtains and appears to be divided into 4 sections. It seems there's no communication between patients, and as all the beds in the facility are closed with curtains and the room is dimly lit. Everyone seems to be sleeping. There's no sound. We walk towards the victim's bed by the window, and I softly call out to her through the screen.
Miyu Tanahashi? Hello, this is the police. Are you awake? Yes.
A faint voice spoke.
May we speak to you for a moment? We have some questions about the incident. Sorry, I'm not feeling well right now. Please, come back later.
Don't worry. We'll catch the culprit no matter what, so...
Sena puts his hands on the curtain and tries to pull it open. I forgot this part.
No! Stop! Please don't look!
Huh?
Sena! She has an injury on her face! She's still not comfortable with showing herself!
Oh no, that's not what he intended. It's no wonder that Sena, who's not good with women, is unable to understand their delicate side. He shows such panic that it makes me feel sorry for him. He acted out of a desire to solve the case for the victim, but he probably never thought he would accidentally scare her. I've made a mistake. I should have thought about that beforehand.
Please! Please, come away!
Noisy footsteps immediately echo outside the room. Then the nurses who rushed to the room practically forced us out of the room. They kicked our asses. Whoops. Well, that went well. We moved to a crowded area where people could eat and drink. It was bustling with patients and visitors. Sena is down in the vacant seat and lets out a big sigh. Damn it. I screwed up. I never meant to scare her. He looks completely worn out. Maybe it's just my imagination, but his pride seems to be gone.
Don't be too hard on yourself. I couldn't get through the victim myself, but the nurse told me some things.
Fortunately, I was able to speak with a nurse who happened to be present during the questioning of the victim. According to the nurse, the third victim, Miyu Tanahashi, was on her way home with a female student from the same school when the attack occurred. And went instead of helping her friend, the other student ran away and went home without even reporting the incident. Wow! What? That is... Yeah. Unfriend her, delete her from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, delete her out of your life.
That person doesn't deserve to be called our friend.
That's true. Are friendships among high school students this tedious these days? No, that's not the case. I like to think that the victim just happened to have the unfortunate fate of having bad friends.
The incident occurred after 6 p.m. The location was, unfortunately, a back alley with little traffic.
She must have been hanging around with some bad friends. That's why they didn't report the incident.
As suspected of a former delinquent, even if he doesn't understand women, he seems to understand the delinquent's mind very well. In fact, Sena's guess was not far off the mark. The damage details those in the documents. Someone had bitten off her earlobe, something strange. The description of the suspect identified by the victim and witness also matches that of a tall woman with long hair wearing a trench coat. The difference from the other case is that she was wearing an eye patch over her right eye. Right eye.
Hey, Sena. The victim lost her right side.
Right eye, left eye. Right eye.
It was her right eye, right?
Yes. However, the nurses were puzzled as they say the cause of her blindness was unknown.
The lady in the trench coat had an eye patch on her right eye. The victim, a girl whose earlobe was bitten off, her right eye now blinded for some reason. Is this a strange... No. Is this more of an eerie coincidence? Noroi. I desperately try to shake up the unrealistic thoughts that flashed through my mind.
We still have the fourth victim. Let's go visit their hospital room.
We were told that the fourth victim's room is at the 10th floor, the top floor of the ward.
Sena, please be very careful next time.
Shut up! You don't have to tell me that.
Sena pouts. It feels like I'm dealing with a young, rebellious brother. My brother! Sena's my brother! A scene unfolded in front of us. That this floor is different from the others. The room seemed to be facing south, offering a great view and plenty of sunlight, and there's an ample space between each room. This floor alone is like another world. As a commoner, I feel a little intimidated just by this.
Amazing.
Seriously?
Sena's reaction to my spontaneous comment of admiration was cold. He doesn't seem interested. I guess that's just how men are. As we walk, I notice a police officer nearby, paying full attention to their surroundings. I show my police badge and call out the two officers standing on each side of the door.
Thank you for your hard work. I'm Detective Marie from the 1st Investigative Division. This is Detective Sena Aizen.
I almost said partner, but quickly swallowed the words. Girl, don't overthink it. The two police officers frowned and turned their attention to Sena.
Sena, your badge.
Huh? Me too?
Sena grumbles, like this is such a hassle, and shows them his badge. Well, you gotta, Sena, you gotta, you're a cop, brother! Oh my god. Although he himself doesn't realize it, it seems like that the suspicion towards him has been cleared. Two police officers saluted us and opened the large wooden doors to let us in. The inside of the hospital room seems to be specially designed as well, with chic furnishing and lighting that exudes a sense of luxury. The room is equipped with a large reception table and leather sofa, a writing desk and a landline phone, and an internet connection. It looks like a luxury hotel suite, although I've never been to one.
This is a hospital room?
Hey now. This is not the time to be impressed by something so trivial.
Right.
After he says that, we continue to look around the room further. There were flowers on displays on the wall as a token of sympathy. They're all beautiful. Not just the flowers, but the sender's inscriptions have nice messages.
Hey, look at that. The chief director also sent flowers in a message.
It looks like this victim is a famous VIP.
I also noticed the electric bed at the center. Then we see a man sitting nearby. Perhaps a visitor? The man seems to be reading a book. Who is he? Is he her caretaker or something?
Sumimasen.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, you are killing it with that f***ing outfit. If you weren't so ugly at the very least. Oh my goodness. He really is ugly. Good god! I'm gonna get attacked in RL. Oh no! Anyways, let's just continue. Ignore my immaturity. Who are you guys? You can't just barge in here without permission! I'm giving him a stupid voice. The man glares at us. Huh? What's with this man's outfit? He doesn't look very friendly at all. Good grief. The hell are you staring at? The man continues to glare at us with a suspicious look on his face. His gaze fixed more on Sena than me. Well, that's understandable. In terms of individuality, Sena's no less impressive.
Apologies for the late introduction. I'm Detective Marie, and this is Detective Sena Aizen. We're from the G Prefectural Police 1st Investigative Division. We're here to ask questions about the victim's incident.
As I say that, I show the man my police badge. He tilts his head in confusion and compares our faces with the ID. Then he snorts. Is this real? You don't look like a cop, especially you. The man grins as he points towards Sena.
The hell you say?
Hold it, Sena.
If we're to start a fight here, this investigation won't go anywhere. But even so, Sena does look like a punk. He obviously doesn't look like an ordinary person. Then again, this guy here looks like a thug. When I look closer at him, he looks like a thug playboy. That outfit is Yakuza, obviously.
As a member of the investigation, we would like to hear from the victim. We apologize for the inconvenience, but I would appreciate your cooperation.
I try to ask politely. It's best to be humble with this kind of thing. Fine! I'm going back to reading, so don't disturb me! Oh, good grief. The man quickly loses interest, sits back down, and continues to read his book. The title on the cover reads, The Theory of Winners. That alone tells a lot about a person's character. In this case, it's told in an obvious way.
Excuse me, but what is your relationship with the victim?
When I ask, the man look at me in disbelief. Huh? What did you say?
Your relationship to the victim?
You have no idea who I am? I can't believe it. Goodness. The man shook his head in disbelief and hands me a business card from his breast pocket. Huh. Stardust Arrow Co. Ltd. Representative Director President Eiichi Yasawa. Huh. The business card was a gold stamp giving a nasty glittery look. The guy seems to be in his 20s, but judging from his card, he seems to be the president. However, having just arrived in G Prefecture, I have almost no knowledge of these companies. Stardust Arrow? Stardust Arrow? It doesn't make sense to me.
Sena, do you know about this company?
Nah, never heard of it.
I can't believe this! You police officers can possibly not know me, can you? Are you all cracks?
I see now. You're affiliate to the gang.
Hi! Don't teach me like that! It's the other way around! Other way around! What on earth is his deal? This guy's so goofy.
Oh, excuse me. Are you from the comedy industry?
What the? I told you it's not that!
I mean, his impressive witty remark of his is quite sharp.
Listen, I'm the son of a Dia member, Kogoro Yasawa. And the woman resting here is the only daughter of the GL's wealthiest man, Kosuke Minamimachi, and she's engaged to me. You want the dogs? You idiot cops! I can demote you anywhere with just a word. Don't underestimate me, you hear?
So you're a master of your craft. You're...
Enough, Sena. I apologize for that. We'll leave as soon as possible to not continue to disturb you. Thank you for your understanding.
You should have acted like this from the beginning.
This type of people can be quite irritating. In short, he's a spoiled brat who uses his daddy's influence to do whatever he wants. I have no use for men like him. I'll just go look at the victim and then leave. The victim, who's sleeping on an electric bed, seems like she hasn't regained consciousness since the incident. Alright then, well, as much as I would like to continue this episode, I am going to be ending this one here. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you really did enjoy it, drop the like button, it really helps out a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel, would appreciate if you do. Also leave your comments and your thoughts on this video or anything in general. And yeah, that is pretty much it, my lovelies. Love y'all, appreciate you, and we'll be seeing you in the next one. Goodbye!